I'm gonna.
Hey, Dave, we got a couple of questions here.
Okay.
So the first one, I got a couple of my own, and then the first one from Becky. Do you have any experience with the Grail GeoPress purifier?
I really like the looks of those. I almost bought one when we were on Mount Daniel. The party that was up there had one, and I really liked it. They look pretty slick. You just fill up the container and push on it, and you get your hiking partner, big old lunkin' Magella gorilla type guy. Man, you get water quick. But I really like the grill. It looked good. I'd like to give you one of these days. I'll buy one.
You know how heavy they are?
No, I don't. Like I said, I had a trailspace.com, I think, and you can go on there, and it has, every product you can even imagine that has reviews. And that's my go-to place. It's heavy, weighs 15.9 ounces. There you go. Becky knows. Good job, Becky.
Oh, yeah. 15.9 is a little heavy for...
You're a ranger. Come
on. Like, I think my water filter is might be right in the 16 ounce range, but it does 6 liters at a time. I got one of those gravity filters. So let's see. Next question. Dave, can you go over how to unclog a gravity filter?
It changes with all different kind of filters. On my MSR, the little hand squeeze one, you fill it half full of water and then shake it really good and shoot the water out backwards. My other MSR, my sweet water, I think that's what it's called. You take the filter out, and there's a little green scrubby that comes with it, and you scrub the filter off a little bit, and that takes care of that. The gravity ones, I am not sure. I'm sure you could get the filter out and work at it there again. Let me have one of them borrow yours, takes, take that sucker apart, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I know on mine, I usually try to keep about 1/4 of a liter or so. So to back flush it, you take the water and you filter it backwards, and it washes all the dirt out.
Yeah.
What is the hand pump filter that you said you had?
I can't remember the name of it, Casey. I've got one that's a MSR. Let me see if I can get the picture. I can go and have it on there. I don't know exactly what they are, but I just got a filter 10. Trail space or trail something, and then the other one, the hand pumper one, is a little bit heavier, but it's bigger and filters more water, more not traditionally, but more effectively. It's not so easy to keep clean, not so hard to keep clean.
Okay, yeah, so MSR and Catadine both have really good reputations. The other one is Platypus.
Yeah.
Also a really good reputation as a water filter company.
I kind of like MSR, local company. It's there in Seattle, and shop local, and I find that they cover their warranty, their stuff really, really well. If you have a problem with something, send it back and they'll make good on it.
Can you go over a little bit more how the Sawyer squeeze works?
Well, you fill up your containers just the same as the gravity, except it's smaller. And if you could take your gravity and squeeze it really hard, then you would have the same purpose. It's just you fill a 1 liter, perhaps 1 liter, maybe less. It's you fill it full and you screw the filter into it and squeeze it, and that forces the water through the filter.
Yeah, so basically you have to fill your water bottle, your water bag up, and then, but instead of hanging it, you have to take it and you just kind of like squeeze it.
Correct. Like a tube of toothpaste. Just roll it up.
Like a tube of toothpaste. It's not as much fun as just letting gravity do the work.
Yeah, well, that's true, but you can always, just lay down by the brook if you got one of those gravity things, or make your hacking partner do it. That would works pretty good too.
So I saw on one of your slides you said you can use household bleach. Can you
Yeah,
elaborate on that a little bit?
it's even in your book. You can use clear water. You can use 2 drops of household bleach per liter. If the water is cloudy, you can use 4 drops. Don't use the plain bleach. Don't use the unscented or the scented stuff. Make sure it's the unscented stuff. I saw some information on that, and I was a little bit hesitant about bringing it up in class, but I noticed that it was in the backpacker's manual, so it must be safe. And I also would like to say that in the backpacker's manual, if you go back to the survival section, getting water, they seem to be a lot less particular on where to get your water and what you drink if you're in a survival type mode. So if you can't afford not to drink, then you can maybe touch a little bit on the cleanliness.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate that we're talking about 2 drops per liter of water per like full Nalgene bottle. So it's a very little, very small amount of bleach, like from an eyedropper drops.
That's correct. Very, very little. Okay, is that it, everybody?
I just wanted to tell a little story about boiling water. I've started taking my water filter, my gravity filter with me, even when we're mountaineering and we're melting snow for water. One of the things I found is like at least bringing snow to a boil from snow to a boil just took so long. It took so much fuel that I kind of have moved away from boiling water. I now use my filter even when I am melting snow.
Yeah, that's why I use the pills. I just, filters are like somebody said once before, you take a filter up in the mountains and it freezes and you don't have a filter anymore. But yeah, it takes, it doesn't take much, it seems, to melt the snow to liquid. But to get it from liquid to boiling, geez, it takes forever.
Yep. And then so Haley, I do not believe we will have next class in person. We are still waiting for the governor's order, and even after that, we have to coordinate with the library again. I will need to update the schedule. I think last time we updated that schedule was probably a month ago when the situation was still changing rapidly.
Casey, do you want 1 filter per person? So like it's going to be me and my family of 5. So do we each need a filtration system, or can we share like 2?
I would, depends on the filter. I have, like I said, my gravity filter, I use an MSR gravity filter. It does 6 liters per bag. It's a big filter. You could probably get away with, I've taken it with just 4 people, 1 filter, and we all bring the little aqua tabs as backup. I think Katadyn even makes a 10-liter gravity filter.
Oh, that's big.
Yeah, it looks like Don says he filtered 5 gallons in 30 minutes. So that's a gallon. That's a significant amount of water.
It is. You must have been really tired after you were pumping all that.
I don't know, Don, were you using pumps or gravity? Even though the gravity is heavier, I like using gravity because I can walk away and call it a day.
Pump filters, he says.
So I have a buddy that travels regularly to China and parts of Africa as part of it for his job. he uses the Steri pin when he's traveling because he can bring a Nalgene and then use tap water in his Nalgene because you're already getting clear water. I don't necessarily know that I would recommend the Steri pin as a primary for backpacking.
You always got a backup, Casey. Always got a backup. I know a guy that I hiked with a guy and that's all he used was a Steri pin and he never got to run, so it must have worked for him.
That's true. That's true.
It was a number of years ago, and he'd always look at it and he'd say, "Is that light shining, Dave? Can you see it? You see any light on that?" So it was always kind of a crapshoot whether it was working or not. Hopefully they've got them better now.
Yep. Anybody else have any other questions? Feel free to unmute yourself and join in as well.
Well, I guess that's it.
I guess that's it. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. Really appreciate it. Dave, Nancy, big shout out. Thank you very much. Appreciate all the effort.
Nancy, I'll be seeing you at the next mountain class. We gotta work on that leg.
Thanks, Becky. Appreciate it. Thanks, Brandon and George. Anu. Thank you, Jessica.